Sagittarius, I'm working like a dog or a cat. You could be a Leo, or you could have a placement of this. How you doing? How you doing, Sagittarius? So here we are to do your not a tarot reading section and see what we channel for you. You could be dealing with a Scorpio / Aries person, but I am picking up Aries. Okay, we're going to channel some messages for you, and then I'll tell you about where you can find your actual tarot reading for July. But this is just kept separately, basically, now for the people that like the channeled stuff or both. But in case people do and don't, I'm just going to leave them separate. Okay, so I'm working my way up, and I'm working. It's like this one of these. I keep seeing like a stairmaster, okay, or something like that, or a strict master of like I don't know, education, or like workout or something like that. But I'm picking up, like, if you was to go to the gym, I'm picking up like someone would be on like the ladder, okay, but working up for a fight is what I'm picking up. Okay, so whether this is anything to do with like the gymnasium or something like that, the name Jim, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jasmine, okay, but this came out for another reading where I said working on a Leo, and it was to do with Libra or a number 2, okay, a number 2 placement somewhere. It can add up from your life path, their life path, and it can come up to a 2. It can be their life path or yours either, okay? But I definitely keep picking up like I'm working and building and working and building and working and building, like building up muscle, building up work. Okay, work is building up, and there's loads of work coming in and loads of work coming in. But I'm also picking up like someone's thinking about working someone over, like, or asking someone over to work out, is what I keep picking up. Like, I'm asking you to come over in order to work out. Okay, now work out, I don't think this is anything to do with work at the moment. I think it is physical, like gym or something like that, because they keep saying I'm going to ask you to come over to work out with me. So there's kind of like this reconciliation type sort of thing in the air of this. I want to talk to you, and can you come over so we can work this out? So we can go over a plan. I don't know if this is coming up with your love life at the moment, because I'm picking up like we need to make a plan. Plane, private flight, you're right. But like we need to make a plan of where we're going to go on holiday. Okay, for a lot of you, you could be traveling. But I definitely keep picking up like a lot of plans coming up for you in July. Like, I don't know if you're also building or anything, because I keep picking up like plans being looked at. Let's make a plan. Let's make a plan. Let's make this plan. Stan, something to do with M and M. Emily, Melissa, Maria, Matilda, or anybody beginning with M or E, okay, or Emily, or Melissa, or Mel, or something like that, okay? But I keep hearing like, let's make this plan, let's make a plan, and let's draw it all up, exactly what we're going to do, where we're going to go. And someone's very organised. They like organisation. So some of you work for an organisation. I'm hearing like a charity organisation for a lot of you. And if you're not working for a charity, then it could be, I'm also hearing a song charity. Yeah, don't worry about that, because that's taken me ages to get that. But what is it? Need your charity. I don't need your charity. I don't need your charity. Something like that, or the name charity. Okay, but like an organisation, they keep saying, and we're going to organise this, and we're going to plan it, and we're going to like plan a night out, or we're going to plan our way forward. So I'm picking up like pay it forward, pay it back, all this kind of stuff. But I'm definitely keeping up like we're going to make a plan, and we're going to go forward on it, but we need to know if everybody's on board yet. So I really keep picking up like on board. This is something to do with around a plane, okay, and going on holiday. Or, I mean, if it's not going on a plane, it feels like that. Let's make a plan where to go. And are we going to go on a plane, train, or automobile? So are we going to go via a car? So you might be dealing with a 7 or a Cancerian. Are we going to go on a plane? I would have no idea. Okay, or are we just going to, like, is it going to be a train? Okay, or a trainer. I keep hearing trainer. This came up training day. This came up in Taurus, but again, Sagittarius / Taurus. You can watch this as a Taurus, because what I'm looking at is the energy of 5. Okay, so anybody that has like a life path 5 is a Sagittarius or is a Taurus. Your same messages would be the same as the other, okay? So you've kind of got this to the same as your mother. So for a lot of you, you just fight unequivocally with your mother, because she has a placement of this somewhere, okay? So what I've noticed a lot when you come up against control is that the people that you shout at and the people that you have an argument with are only the people that have that bipolar, north and south, okay, all of the time. I go through with my mother, and it's a difficult one for me to do because she has a Sagittarius moon, okay. So that doesn't mean that we argue because she has a Sagittarius moon. It just means that I'm in this reading. Do you know what I'm saying? So I have to try and bypass a lot of that stuff. But again, there's argumentative energy here, 100%, because it's working like a dog and it's working up to a fight, okay? So always look for anybody of those numbers that I'm telling you about as well, okay? It's because that would mean the tarot card reading that you could watch, okay? I don't have to keep going over this with everybody, but if you haven't seen my channel, there's loads of videos that explain how to find your karmic debt number, but star sign, major arcana, and then the reading that will really show you where the argumentative energy is coming from, okay? But I definitely keep picking up like this working on you, and I'm working on you, and I'm working on you in order to be able to like coach you up, in order to be able to, I don't know, is this like someone that works at a department and you've got a new person, okay? You've got a new person and you're working and training on them in order to like get them educated so you can like, I don't know, leave them to look after the job or the business or something like that, okay? And I want to go on holiday and I want some time off work, blah, blah, blah. We need to train you up and quickly get you through it. This has come out for another reading, Sagittarius, but I need to train you up and everything else and get you to the standard of what that is, so we can meet and fill our quota for work and stuff like that. So you got like manager type sort of people here, or someone that's training to be a manager, or like is gone to get a new job, or you've employed someone new and you're training them up in order to be able to like work, okay, like physical work. But I keep picking up like manual labor, okay, manual labor. So like a lot of heavy lifting and a lot of moving around and stuff like that. I keep picking up like, so I don't know if you're having anything built or someone is a builder in certain energies, because I'm picking up like we need to like, because we're building, they keep saying because we're building around the building, like around the house, there's a building going up somewhere. So like a construction worker or someone that works on the land is what I'm picking up, like land work, okay? I'm also picking up lanyard as well, lanyard. So through that I'm picking up some people that work for the hospitals, NHS, or someone that needs like a lanyard to say, hello, yeah, this is me, so on and so forth. So like sometimes you need those to work with children. So I don't know if there's schools and education that is here somewhere, or someone that you can't get in if you haven't got a lanyard, because it tells you who you are, and if you're in a hospital you normally have someone with a lanyard. So I keep picking up that, or the name Laney or lanyard, okay? So Sagittarius, so yeah, definitely like loads of work coming in, but I definitely keep hearing that some of you, like I said, you're either training somebody up, but if you are working somewhere and you've been asked to train somebody up, it feels like that there's this swap shift work, like work being shifted, like time shift is also around a work shift. Okay, that's how time alters itself, by managers, and because I keep picking up there's something around a manager here, around a manager, an assistant manager, or your manager. You work for a place and your manager has been changed and you have a new manager, okay? Or you are going for the manager job, but like it feels like that this new manager comes in to this place and it swaps all of this time around, all of these timesheets, okay? And all of the like where you're going and where you're going and where you're going and where you're going, it's all kind of like being looked at now, of where people might be able to have some time off work in order to make a plan, because it feels like, well, if I'm honest, it feels like that someone's got fired, that somebody's got sacked, or somebody's left a job. And because they've left the name Rob or Robin, but they've left a job, like they've left this job and they've left it, okay? And it's like someone else comes in to take over it, okay? So it's kind of like, okay, you've left, so we need someone else in, okay? If you're not here, then we need someone else. Like trying to fill, like backfill things. I keep picking up that someone's also trying to like sand or cement or like something like that and trying to backfill something. But I keep also hearing like we need to fill this spot, okay? We need to fill our quota and we need to fill this spot. This is why I keep coming up against where it might be someone, like I said, a physical manager, and they're saying, okay, we've got like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or Monday, and can you come and work on this day, and can you come and work on that day, and how about you, can you work here, can you work there, what suits you, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And I definitely keep picking up like a manager may have left and a new manager may have come in, and now it's going to alter everybody's shift and time, and where everybody's now going to have to start telling this new manager, well, their time work, their time, because they're keeping up like timesheets or bed sheets, like people like hospital corners. I keep picking up, but definite big messages around timesheets and time shifts. But A time shift only happens by another person. We all create a time shift, all of us, because it works off a boss. I think you've had this before. A boss alters a time shift of one person, their reality starts to change, which changes another's reality. Their reality changes another's reality because their time shift is now changed. So say for instance, like my girlfriend, say for instance, like if she got called in to do an extra 3 hours work, that would change my time shift because I wouldn't be seeing her for another 3 hours or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm also picking up the name Trevor. Okay, Trevor. Did you say that, Spirit? Trevor. But yeah, like all these times, like trying to fit time in, but there's not enough hours in the day in order to be able to fit it in. Okay. I mean, if this isn't you, it could be your partner, okay? It could be someone that you know. But I think a lot of you, like I said, it's trying to fit time in and enough hours in the day to be able to get everything done that you want to get done, okay? Or the name done, also I'm picking up done. But trying to fit everything in that I really want to get done, but don't seem to be enough hours in the day. And I think your main message here, Sagittarius, is around time shifts, okay? And it's around people moving their time around for other people, like sacrificing their time for another person, or like giving someone a little bit more time than others, or like training someone up and thinking, okay, you're going to need a little bit more work and you're going to need a little bit more work. Because this is either a manager or a person that's saying to themselves, right, you're going to need a little bit more work, you're going to need a little bit more work on you. I mean, this is something that's like fitness or something like that, but you're going to need a little bit more work. Okay, now I'm prepping you up a little bit and you're going to need a little bit more work. Okay, and then I've got you, and okay, you're going to need quite a lot of work, right? So we're going to like really like focus on you needing a lot, you know, something like that, like picking people out, because I'm picking up like a 7 of Cups, and picking people out on who need what the most. Like, you need more work so you can have the most amount of work. These are people that work on like what do you call it, flexi contracts, where it's kind of like there's a certain amount of people that work on a contract, like on a contract, and they're like designated from like 9 till 5, or like, you know, 7 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon or something like that, okay? But then you get people that are on like flexi contracts that can do like extra hours, like 12-hour shifts, or can you do an extra 4 hours? And it feels like that the manager always gives the extra work to the people on flexi contracts. And I think that that's what's going to be drawn up, or going to cause you the most amount of conflict, if I'm honest. Because I am keep picking up like I'm working up on a Leo, okay? And I feel like I'm picking on a Leo, or a Leo is picking on somebody. But it feels like that I'm working up in order to be able to pick you, okay? So I'm kind of like trying to think, okay, well, you're free, right? And you're like, yeah, you're free. Okay, so you can go here, or the name Freya. Heidi Freya. Okay, you're right, Heidi. But like, I'm working on you because you're going to need the most amount of work, so I'm going to say you. But like I said, this is going to come down to each consumer of whether they want this work or not, you know. I really do. Because the message came through in Taurus, I'm sure it did, or the name Shaw, or Gary Shaw, or Gary or Tina. Okay, but like this, well, it's going to cause arguments, if I'm honest. It feels like it's going to cause arguments, because it feels like picking on someone. Like someone's going to be picked out from the crowd, and like picked out and said, okay, you're the person we're going to pick on the most because we know that you'll do it. Okay, so if you've got a new manager or a manager that comes in and they know that you are a person that will just say yes straight up, and you're like, yeah, I'll do extra work, yes, I'll do extra shift. If you're not saying no, there's this Libra energy here, right? There's this Libra energy here of like picking on a person to get them to say yes when they don't actually really feel like they want to say no, but they do it. Okay, so why I'm picking up of like flexi contracts, because like, say if you work in the NHS and work in a place like I used to, which is like elderly people, okay, they used to ring you up and say, can you come in and cover someone's work? Can you come in and do this for us, because we need you to stay behind and do an extra 3 or 4 hours work. But like when you first start, that can be very difficult to realise and say, oh, actually I do have an option to say no. Okay, so like if you're one of these people that are here watching this and you're like, yeah, my boss keeps like shoving loads of work at me and I really feel like I can't do it, or I don't want to do it, that's going to be some sort of karmic lesson there for you guys, I really feel. because it's going to be down to saying no. It's like, no, this is not fair, this is not right, you know, I want some time off, or like, I don't want you to like focus on me all of the time, like, why are you constant? See, this is where you've got this Taurus / Sagittarius energy of 5 here coming up, okay, because I'm definitely picking up like 5s, and it's like I'm picking on one person. You need the most amount of work, so I'm going to like forget everybody else and I'm going to focus on you, okay, but I'm definitely keeping up like you because I've got beef with you, okay, and I'm going to like segregate everybody, and I'm going to focus all of my time on you, but I'm going to grill you, okay, and I'm going to like give you the Spanish Inquisition, and I'm going to make it point at you and point every mistake that you make and point out everything else. And yeah, that's where I feel this aggression coming from, if I'm honest. But that would be your 5 energies. That would be your 5 energies, okay? So I definitely keep picking up that for a lot of you. And that could be, like I said, it could be a Leo or around a Leo, because last month Leo's had so many 5s, but they've got actually the best month for their tarot. But last month it was about 5s all for Leos, or like Leo / Aquarium, because of 8. Okay, and it was around a lot of fights and a lot of aggression and a lot of pointing and a lot of like, you know, pointing fingers and like very aggressive behaviour and all that sort of stuff. And well, now I actually think it's your month, Sagittarius, because I think like it's a Sagittarius Taurus, but maybe a person that has Leo in their chart as well, okay? But they have a lot of 5 energies, and it's a lot of like, you know, pointing and like pointing out mistakes and all of that kind of stuff, and like high stakes. Something's around food. This is either like a, well, there was a reading that I've done that was to do with around someone having an eating disorder, because it said eating disorder under control, best reading. I think it could have even been Leo. Okay, it was around Virgo. It was around a Virgo placement. I know this is very sporadic, Sagittarius, and I can normally give you some good messages here, but really it's around working, but working someone over as well, okay, like overtime, like I'm making you feel tired because I'm going to really make you work and really make you work and make you work even longer and make you work, like really working someone over. But I got this notion in my head here that it's picking on a person. It's physically like picking on one, okay, which means that I'm going to work you to the ground, like I'm going to give you so much work. Well, it's okay for money, but it's like working someone to the point where they're like absolutely tired and knackered and they don't want to do any more. So it's making someone physically start to like hate their job a little bit, okay, or hate Rob a little bit, or like hate their job a little bit, because there's a lot of like this energy of like, I don't know, like forcing people to do hours that they don't want to do, or forcing people into a time shift that they may not have time to do. Because it feels, I really do keep picking up like someone's picking someone out of the crowd, or like this manager is kind of like, well, you know, they don't normally say yes anyway, so we're always going to go towards the people that are going to say yes, not no, okay? So we're going to focus on all of the people that are okay with me, like keep adding this pressure, and that keep adding like this Adam and Eve, something's around Gemini / Capricorn, like a Gemini or Gemma, the name Gemma, or Julian, Jason, Justin, Jasmine. Okay, but we are going to like, we're going to focus that much on something that we're going to like add a load of pressure, a load of more work and a load of more time and a load more pressure on that. But I don't know if these people are finding that that's fair, because I keep picking up that someone keeps being picked on, like they keep being picked on, okay, to do these shifts and to do this work, okay, is what they're saying. Like, I'm going to pick on you specifically because I know that you'll take it, right? That you'll take it. So if a person is watching this and they're like, I know damn well that my boss is going to ask me to work, or that my boss is going to end up doing something, then they are. Okay, so be wary of those messages there, of making a plan now, okay, to know that when that comes up, whether, you know, to say to this boss that, you know what, that isn't fair, and I don't want you to specifically keep like focusing on me all of the time, because this energy here karmically is about speaking up for oneself and one's rights. And if you find that this isn't right, or this other person finds it isn't right, then they're going to have to, the spirit is saying that they're going to have a lesson in order to say, look, this isn't fair, and please keep picking on me, okay? Because it's like, I don't want to be asked. I don't want to be the person that's always asked to do something. Or I don't want to be the person that's always pointed out from the crowd of a mistake that I've been making. So it's kind of like that. Because I keep picking up like training day. Okay. like teacher training day, but you've got energies of 3 here, three, like Pisces or any energy that relates to a 3. Okay. Training day. I'm going to leave it at that because they're very bitty. We're going to see if I can get any other messages for you out on your actual tarot reading, Sagittarius, but there's a lot of disturbed energy, and that's why I'm getting a little bit like annoyed, because I'm picking up that like this working someone over into the ground of tiredness, and then like feeling like anxious and pissed off and frustrated and fed up by being overworked, okay, and doing too much, or coming across as if you're too much, like this is too much, like you know you're really focusing on me now, and you're adding too much pressure, like you know you're forcing me to do something that I really don't want to, and that I really don't feel comfortable with. You're forcing me to do that, and I don't like being forced to do it. I'd rather be asked if that's okay first, because yeah, well, that's a message there. If there's like that someone is never asked if that's okay, they just go ahead and straight and do it. You're like, well, that isn't fair. If you'd have come to me first and asked first, okay, instead of physically just lumbering me with all this work or focusing on me that much, that I would rather you ask me first if that's all right before you just go ahead and do it, because it feels like that this person is suffering through like a confidence but a lack of confidence, right? Well, you can't build people's confidence by shouting at them, okay? So I'm picking up that somebody like goes to the person that's the weakest. They know that they can buckle under pressure of the person that's the most weak, okay, that is basically going to buckle under pressure and end up saying yes, but they don't. They actually don't like it, you know. So it's coming across as if someone's like really pointing out a person and focusing on one person a lot, and this person, whoever it is, does not want that focus on them. They don't. They're actually inwardly telling me within spirit, this person is not happy with someone that is focusing on this person that much. They don't like it. So I don't know why this is coming across as bullying now, like bullying, okay? Because they don't want asking. But, well, no, what they do, some of this is work. But like this person does want asking if that is okay, but if they say no, that means no. This is where there's a Libra energy of 2 coming here, like a life path or a 2, or a number that adds up to 2. And it's kind of like, look, I want you to ask me first before you just go ahead and do all of this stuff. I would rather you come to me and ask me first before you just go and do all of this. I want you to ask me first. So, because it feels like a boss suddenly like starts to make decisions for people, like, oh no, you really got me dealing with Scorpio energy. Watch their reading. Like the 4, but like no, it's okay, I'm gonna take over and take control of all of this, okay, and like I'm not gonna ask you, I'm just gonna do it, right? And it feels like a boss is coming to a person, not asking them if it's okay if I put you on extra shifts, or are you okay doing this. It's basically a person that gets under pressure, stressed, and then basically just does it without asking if that's okay. Like, we're going to put you on this shift, we're going to put you on this department, we're going to put you here, we're going to put you there, but we're not going to ask you if that's okay. We're basically just going to take the job into our own control, do it for ourselves, and not even like ask you if that's okay, and basically just tell you that you are. So like I said, this can be a manager that works somewhere, say like a care home, or the name Karen, okay, and they work at a care home, and they basically fill out their rota, and they get a screen up, and they go, okay, so we've got all of these days to fill, right? And they end up just doing it themselves, and then they go to you and say, okay, you're working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, blah, 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 and you're also doing all of these hours as well. And you're like, well, hold on a minute, that isn't fair. Why didn't you ask me? Can you change that? And then the manager has to go back in, change it, find another person. They get very pissed off and like frustrated the fact that they can or they can't. And then you've got this like very disturbing energy of like someone like, oh look, I'm not bothered about all of that. Like, you work here, you just do it, right? You work for us, so you're just doing it, right? You're just doing it, right? And it's getting across as like it's going to make an argument. It's going to cause a drama out of a crisis here. And it is, I think it's kind of like this work thing, where this person physically wants asking, are you okay with me pointing you out in the crowd to say that, you know, it's kind of like standing in a line of people, and it's like, okay, you like Timothy, right? You stand here in class, right? And you're like, oh, well, hold on a minute, you didn't ask me if I was okay. Oh, don't worry about that, bruv. Just get up here and come in front of everybody. And you're like, no, I don't really want to do that. It's like, listen, get in front of here and speak. And you're like, no, I don't want to. And you're like, you could have asked me if that was okay, but I'm not prepared. I've got no idea what to say or what to do. It's like, I don't care. Just get up here and do it now. And it's making this person, it's like intimidation. Intimidation. This person does not want to do that. They're not asked if that's okay. They're just pinpointed to push them at school. Like asking someone to come up in front of everybody, but they don't want to. And it's making someone feel more like intimidated. So it's coming across as intimidation here. Whichever way you look at it. It's making someone feel intimidated. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that because I'm going over the same shit in the same ground. Okay, so if you want to join, if you want to have a look, you don't have to join anything. It's on YouTube. I don't know why I say that. Your tarot reading comes out pretty much straight after this. And you can find it in a link that comes up on the screen. One takes you towards the numerology. Okay, how I read within tarot. And the other one basically takes you to your Sagittarius July tarot reading. If you can't find it on the screen, it basically just comes out straight after your actual channel messages. But we keep them separate. Thank you for sitting with me and listening to my channel messages for you. And let's see what's going to happen during your tarot reading, Sagittarius.